Why is prophetic ministry both relevant and important today? Now, this is a good question, and we do have some previous videos as to what prophetic ministry is, because a lot of people that are confused about that may have a different answer to this question. There are a lot of things going on in the world that can distract believers, so it is very important that we realize, according to Ephesians 2:6, that we are seated, present tense, in heavenly places, and we need to be able to see things that are going on in both the world and in our own lives from God's perspective. And this is a very important aspect of prophetic ministry. Now, I want to bring out 5 examples of 5 different prophets in the Bible who had very similar experiences, and what they are describing is a vision of the throne room of God. I want to start off in 1 Kings chapter 22, verse 19, and this is a prophet named Micaiah, and he says, "Therefore hear the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne with all the host of heaven standing around him on his right hand and on his left." Now, in Isaiah chapter 6, verses 1 through 3, he says, "In the year King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord seated on a throne, and above him were seraphs, each with 6 wings," etc. And then going on to the book of Daniel, and this is in 7:9, he says, "As I looked, thrones were set in place, and the Ancient of Days took his seat." It says his throne was a flaming fire. And then also in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 1, verses 26 and 28, he says, "Above their heads was what looked like a throne." And he says, "Like the appearance of a rainbow was the radiance around him." And the Apostle John had a very similar vision in the book of Revelation, chapter 4, verses 2 and 3. He says, "At once I was in the Spirit, and there before me was a throne in heaven with someone sitting on it. And the one who sat there had the appearance of jasper and ruby. A rainbow that shone like an emerald encircled the throne." So you have these 5 prophets that all have this vision of a heavenly throne room of God, Jesus Christ, sitting on the throne. Now, several times in Scripture, when God was speaking through his prophet, the purpose was to give either that prophet and or the people he was prophesying to a different perspective. Now, what they needed to do was see the spiritual reality of what was going on, so they weren't distracted by what was happening in the natural world. Now, this is what we have been calling in our church the throne room perspective. It's about seeing things in both the world and our individual lives through the lens of God's control and ultimate victory. Now, I want to read a passage from the book of Revelation, and this is chapter 21, verses 5 through 7. And it says, "Then he who sat on the throne said, 'Behold, I make all things new.' And he said to me, 'Write, for these words are true and faithful.' And he said to me, 'It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give of the fountain of the water of life freely to him who thirsts. He who overcomes shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son." In summary, there are 3 points that I was trying to make. Number 1, broadening our perspective. Number 2, seeing the spiritual reality of what is happening. And number 3, being able to see things from God's perspective. And once again, knowing that he is in control and will ultimately have the victory in the end. If this video ministered to you, feel free to like it, share it, and I'd encourage you to check out the Call from the Mountain YouTube channel because we have a lot of other great content on there as well.